actually a sculpt. A Disney sculptor has created a sculpt that fits perfectly with our frame, and of course you can imagine it's not just taking a picture, they're out here working continually. And then of course we do the art on it to make it look botanical, and then you have to have a way to attach the sculpted artwork to the growing artwork. I gotta say, we first did this with Snow White 3 years ago. 3 years ago. We truly did not know if it was going to work. Even the artist said, we're not sure this is going to be successful. It's one of those things you actually have to try it. Well, we tried it, and of course it worked. So now we're in the process of making all of our face characters look like this. It's fun because, you know, we've been working for so long to bring our topiaries to life, and I think this finally is the highlight of what we'll get. I can't say that we'll ever get a more lifelike topiary than you have right here. But as we started getting more and more topiaries in the festival, it became a challenge because it takes a long time to water a topiary. Of course, you don't water this, but pretend like this is plants. You water an extremity, you just can't hit it once and leave. You got to keep coming back again and again. So it takes a long time to water one. When we were going from 20 topiaries to 80, we knew we didn't have the staffing to do nothing but water. So our team back at the nursery just found a way, basically, to do in topiary what's done in your yard. If you have a house with an irrigation system, you have different zones, and each of those zones will have a different type of spray head depending on how much water that area needs. It's the same in these topiaries. We have lots of different tubings going to different zones, and an area, an extremity that dries out will have a whole lot more water being put out than, say, in a big fat area that doesn't need much water. We've been working on that system. We started doing that probably 15 years ago, and we've gotten better and better at it. It really is what has allowed us to have so many topiaries at the festival. Otherwise, we just wouldn't be able to do it. But this is sphagnum moss that's held in by a plastic mesh. We used to use chicken wire, and it took forever to stretch that chicken wire. If you've ever worked with chicken wire, you know it's a slow process. One of our gardeners was going out to cover our shrubs and out at the nursery in the holding area to keep the deer from eating it. And he used a little net with a mesh about this big, little plastic, and he just stopped and said, I bet this would work for chicken wire. Brought it back in. Not only did it work, it goes on 5 times faster. It's a lot cheaper. It's just a better product. You know, someone just said, So the product we use on this is actually deer netting to keep deer off plants. Finally, the sphagnum moss. We used to use sphagnum moss from either Florida or Canada, which was harvested from bogs. Now we get it from New Zealand, where they actually harvest it and then replant it, so it's a lot more sustainable. Largest user of French hairpins. There's hundreds and hundreds of plants on this topiary, and this is what we use to hold them in and hold them on. So literally, I would guess there's probably 1,000 to 1,500 hairpins in her. I mean, you saw how quickly I found one. There's one, there's one. They're just all over the place in there. As we've added the edible landscapes, there's been no reduction of our ornamental landscape. It's truly been an addition of content in the festival. So as you walk around now, especially if you've been coming for years, look at the little areas. There's some in Italy, several in Future World, the Pepper Garden by Mexico, where 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we just had regular landscape. And we come and we found, we're trying to really identify every area that we can add a special garden for flower garden to make the park even more decorated and tell a better story for flower garden. I think we're getting there. You know, we'll never be where we want to be, right? But we always try to do it.